Okay, so we got Chromazz dropping a diss track to Meg the Stallion, calling her Marcus the Stallion, and going back and forth. And I don't. For me, this beef is like, okay, when you listen to like for me, I actually listened to the lyrics in the Chromazz diss track, and it's hard for me to have perspective on certain things. Like girls will always say, men shouldn't get involved in female beefs or female altercations or even have commentary on it. But I'm like, okay, if you want to live within the culture of hip hop and you want to be treated equally, like the way they always say, oh, it's a men dominated field and the focus is on the men and blah, blah, blah. Well, if you want to be a part of that and you want to be part of the discussion and the critique and all that, and you want to be a part of the main hip hop discussion, not no girl side shit where it's only the girls discussing it and it's not part of the main hip hop discussion, then men are going to have to get in on the discussion as well. So I look at it and I'm like, okay, everything Chromazz was saying would probably be valid if she didn't have the accusation against her for her getting robbed of her purse or something by some people and her calling the cops and her, pretty much being in the same situation of contacting the authorities for help and basically trying to say, oh, if you do that, you're a snitch. And I'm like, okay, if you're a dude, like, of course, girls that claim that they're bangers too and they're out here like that, they'll follow that same type of guideline. I didn't know if Meg was like that. She's like, oh, you're not a savage, blah, 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 testing her credibility. I'm like, what did she even mean by when she said she was a savage? I don't think she meant it that way, but for me, I don't know. I don't know where to, or what the spectrum is on what female rappers, what their street cred, and I hate that word, street cred. I don't know where to line it up. I don't know where it's like, okay, you're talking some hot shit in your bar, so we're supposed to hold you to the level of some niggas out here. Like, you're still a female at the end of the day. In my personal experience, yeah, there's girls out here doing setup shit, running moves with niggas and doing all sorts of shit in the streets. But for the most part, and my expectations of any woman getting caught into any type of problems with the authorities, I'm expecting them to snitch. It's like, technically, if we're being technical about it, because Meg didn't actually leave a statement, but she was vocal on camera, basically telling on story. So in that essence, regardless of her affiliations to the streets, because you could be a snitch without being being a gangbanger or being out there like that. Regardless of her affiliation, you could consider her as what she did as snitching. You could consider it that, but do you care? I think that's where it comes in. I think that's where the confusion comes in with people saying, oh, she's a snitch, and yo, LT, how do you not know she's a snitch? She called the cops. I'm like, yeah, of course. But it's like, do we care? She's a girl. We expect her to do that. I don't know, man. What is this whole protect black women shit? If black women can't even call the cops, if black women can't even be treated like other women and be afforded the resource of the cops if men are trying to do them to some sort of harm, so they're a snitch. I'm like, I guess I just don't care. And I'm not gonna hold Meg to the same status as 6ix9ine, the same way that Chromazz is creating that false equivalency. I'm like, 6ix9ine, whole different situation. I'm not even going to get into that. If you're not a nuanced thinker, you're going to say it's the same. But that's what people do. People draw all sorts of asinine comparisons or parallels to things that aren't parallel. And it's just like, whatever, do you? You want to? She's doing it for the buzz. She's creating the attention, of course. Her videos doing numbers. She's in the conversation now. People that were never talking about her or didn't even know who she is know who she is now. It's like mission accomplished for her. Although Meg dissed her on the track, it doesn't really favor Meg to go back and forth with Chromazz. It just favors Chromazz. But Meg responded, so she gave her that validation. It is what it is. I'm gonna keep my eye on that and see who wins that beef. But not a fan of both musically, to be honest. If we're just keeping it a thou. What else do we got here?